BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
Campeones, campeones, ole, ole, ole.
You can do better. You can do better than that. Come on, Gary.
That's as good as it gets. That's all you're getting. Not getting any more. The season's over, and today on MOTD Top 10, we're discussing the greatest champions of the Premier League era. It's a tough one. None of us can be biased on this one. With us for the final time of this series are two previous winners of the Premier League, Micah Richards and Alan Shearer. Alan, you won it with Blackburn in '95, Micah in 2012. Go on.
What?
It's an open goal. Come on, get on with it.
Well, you haven't won it.
We're going down memory lane. We're going to recall the greatest teams, managers and players to have lifted the trophy prior to this campaign. Although I'm not sure why we just don't hand Leicester the crown now and have done with it. But if you don't agree with our list of top 10s, don't forget to let us know on Twitter. You're never normally shy. And you can do it by using the hashtag MOTD Top 10. Here we go. Winning a title, what does that feel like?
Wow, it's amazing. It was just unbelievable, especially for little old Blackburn coming into the Premier League and within 3 years taking on the big boys and beating them. It's just an unbelievable story. No one thought that they would do it.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I did because that was the dream that was sold to me in my in the talks with Kenny and Jack Walker and Ray Harford, Robert Cole, the chairman. They all believed that it was going to happen. They said it was going to happen. And as I said, anyone outside of Blackburn didn't think it would happen. But it was... I mean, considering when I went there, we didn't have our own training ground. We used to turn up at the ground every day, not knowing where we were training. Had to wash our own training kit.
You had to wash your own kit?
Not had to wash our own kit.
Oh, dear.
Coming from Southampton, I'd been spoiled. Training finished, you chuck your kit in the middle of the floor. And I got to Blackburn and I started chucking my kit in the middle of the floor and all the lads would look and think, what the are you doing? I thought I was big time for chucking my kit in the middle of the floor for it to be
washed. Just chuck it in the middle of the floor anyway?
Because it was just going...
You just normally it would go in the... put it on your bench.
Normally it would be in the laundry basket, but they sort of looked at me and said, what's he doing? I had to take the kit home and wash it, which was all part of our
bonding.
Team spirit. And that was the best thing about Blackburn, was the team spirit. That's what got us over the line in the end, because we fell over the line. In that final game at Anfield, but what a day, what a night. The relief was huge because we were under huge pressure.
I mean, you're both involved in the title victories on the closing day. You know what I mean? Different kind of emotions, but yours was...
Yeah, I think I've told you it was mixed emotions for me, wasn't it?
Because you weren't, but that moment
was just, it was incredible.
Yeah.
You know, he's just... When you watch it back now, it's just a surreal moment.
Yeah.
You can't believe he was involved in such... It was the way it happened as well, wasn't it? 93 minutes, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It just never happened.
I mean, I was in the Match of the Day office and we were all watching it, and there was one City fan in there, and it was in the days when we could have more than 3 people in a room, and to a person, everybody just screamed like it was just an unbelievable moment. There's no anti-Man U thing or anything amongst us. It was just like unbelievable. The turnaround, because you'd blown it. Blown it.
It was so important though as well, because I think it was a face. Do you
think everything that subsequently happened with Man City would still have? I suppose it probably would, but you never know. That
moment will never be, and we was the first ones to win the league. So everyone talks about, well, we're going to win how many titles? It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's the first one. It's like the first FA Cup and the first Premier League, and the squad that did that, because we was up against Man United with Ferguson, up against Arsenal with Arsene Wenger, two of the greatest ever managers in Premier League history. And
we both make our list, of course.
And we overcome them to win it. And it's always, and that's why Blackburn should actually have been higher up in my list when you think about who he was
You
up
can
against.
still change it if you want.
I know, yeah, I might change them around just a little bit, but to think coming up against some great teams.
Well, think about it quickly because I'm about to read out. While I read the top 10, you can fiddle with your list if you wish to, and Shearer's giving you daggers, so you better. In no particular order, that will be determined by you chaps very shortly. 1995, Blackburn.
Hey.
1998, Arsenal. You'll be surprised to know 99, Manchester United are in there. 2004, the Arsenal Invincibles. 2005, Chelsea's Mourinho's Chelsea. 2008, Manchester United of Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez. Manchester City in 2012, Micah. 2016, Leicester. 2018, Manchester City. And 2020, Liverpool. We've not gone with this season because it's too recent. It's good age. Right, who wants to start? Micah?
Go on, Micah.
Go on, Micah. 10 to 6.
First.
10 to 6.
Okay, I'll go Man United of 2008. In 10. In 9, Arsenal 1998. In 8, go 2018 Man City. In 7, 2020 Liverpool. And in 6, 1999 Man United.
Do I sense here a little bit of bias?
Just a little bit.
A bit of bias against Manchester United because you've clearly not got them in any of them in your top
That was
5.
very, very close to all of mine, similar until that last one. 99.
The treble winning team, the team that...
We'll get Man United pundits on.
I'm just saying, just 99, they won the treble that season. The team Everton have done that particular treble.
No, it was, but the point is the champions of the Premier League. We've got to take that into consideration, but this is Premier League, so that's why they're not in my top 5.
It's nothing to do with the fact that they're rivals.
Nothing to do. I'm impartial. Come on, you know this, Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the year you were saying about them came into the nightclub with their medals on?
What's your 10 to 6?
My 10 was 2008 Man United. 9 was 1998 Arsenal. 8, 2005 Chelsea. 7, 2020 Liverpool. And 6 was 2018 Man City.
Hold on. What's happened there?
Well, just because I said against Man City.
City were what? 2018?
2018. Okay, 2018.
2018.
Okay,
I
thought I misunderstood what he said there. Yeah, I've got
you thought he was
yes.
That's mine.
Got personal.
Right, okay. Well, you've both got the same 10 and 9. Manchester United's 2008 team, which, consisted of 31 goals for Ronaldo. They had Rooney, Tevez. It was a great side. Why so?
Vidic, Ferdinand, back-to-back titles. I mean, when you look at the rest of the list, then you may perhaps understand why. But what a team that was. It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great team, but I believe the teams above them were a little bit more special. It's in terms of champions. I don't want to give my list away. There's a story, there's a theme for my top 5, and
you've got a theme, have you?
Well, I think it's a special. My top 5 are all for special reasons, rather than just it was a great team. But yeah, they had some. I agree with Alan. They had some great.
That was
players.
the best of Ronaldo around then, wasn't it? That we saw of him.
He went on to
this country.
even went on to better
31
things,
goals that season, wasn't it?
in the league. Yeah. What was he like to play against?
He was a nightmare because he always used to dive. Yeah, he was. He was a nightmare, but he was exceptional. He didn't know which way he was going to go. He was more of a winger, a bit more. Now he's just a goal scorer, isn't he?
Yeah.
But when I played against him, he had all the tricks and stuff. I always had really good games against him, only because it was in the derby and tensions and. But he could tell back then he was going to go on and do. I didn't think he would score as much goals.
No, I don't think anyone really could. You couldn't envisage in his early days.
No, because there was when he first came, he was chopping and changing left and right, and doing step overs, and there was the accusation of him playing for himself more than the team. But no one
still gets that to a degree.
He can do what he wants with the record he's got now, can't he?
Unbelievable.
I mean, those two guys taking it to a new level, goal scoring.
To do it in the Premier League, though, at that time where you could tackle a little bit more than you can now, every season he was there, he got stronger. He learnt to deal with the Premier League, and by the time he left, he was absolute superstar.
So what's this diving business then?
He used to dive a lot. Yeah, especially in the derbies.
Don't they all now?
Yeah, but I think he created it. Yeah, he was a creator.
I believe you me. Diving was around long before that. Diving's been around since.
Yeah, he loved the dive.
Since shorts reached your socks.
Really?
Yeah.
What were the kits like back then? You always had like tight shorts, didn't you?
Shorts were short in the 80s.
Yeah.
Shorts. Yeah. Did you like that?
He was in the really long ones. You know, they were past your knees and everything. Gary was.
Oh, was you?
40s and 50s.
I've lived through many an era. The shorts. They've changed in length. They were really long, weren't they, in the olden days before I played or was even born.
Yeah.
And then they went really short in the 80s.
They were rolled up in the 80s, didn't they? Used to roll them up, and Stuart Pearce.
That's what he used to do. Yeah. He used to annoy me. He used to be going out for training. I've got a mic in there. And he used to come out and he used to roll like his pants would be up here. You can see all his privates. And we all just, ready? You ready, son? Me and you down at right side. Come on. And he was honestly...
Couldn't have been any bigger than those thighs, by the way.
I know, tight, aren't they?
They're spray-on trousers, those, aren't they?
They call these tapers nowadays, Alan. Taper.
There's a lot of the players now that have got rolling the shorts up, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't know. They like to see the fight. Grealish does it a lot, doesn't he? We've seen him. He's got beautiful legs, though, and he's nice calves and all that. Long hair.
Whatever turns you on,
beautiful.
Whatever turns you on.
Beautiful.
All right, Jack. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so...
where was I?
We were on the Man United 2008 team before we whizzed off elsewhere. Yeah, there was a goal-scoring machine.
31 goals,
Yeah, not bad at all.
Imagine scoring 31 Premier League goals in a season.
You'd be disappointed with that, wouldn't you? Got 34 when Blackburn won it. I know what you're sniffing.
You had more games. Well, hold on. There was more games back then, though, wasn't there?
All right, don't piss on me fire.
Just facts, 42 games back then.
Yeah, but you probably missed 20, did you, for injury? Did you miss many?
Second season I did, yeah.
Incredible.
So Manchester United, predictably by Micah Richards, are not going to win this thing. Arsenal, 98. That was Wenger's first title in his first full season.
Yeah, won the double, didn't he, 98?
The double, indeed.
FA Cup.
I mean, what an effort.
Brilliant. Seaman, Adams, Dixon, Keown, over.
They've still got their hands up now.
Yeah, but
Offside.
he managed to merge like just the core English with a little bit of sauce, a little bit of elegance.
The French sauce,
yes.
A little bit of
just that little bit.
Continental sauce.
Remember Anelka? Anelka was my guy before Henry. So Anelka was the one who I really liked. And
Is this when you were a real big Arsenal fan this period, yeah?
I didn't watch the games. It was only when there was on, but Anelka, he was the one who I thought...
But you didn't watch the games when they weren't on?
Well, yeah, it depends. Good one, Gary.
Yes.
But Anelka was the one who really... He had that little bit of, that movement. He was quick. He could finish. Sauce. Yeah, a bit of swagger. He had everything.
They didn't score that many goals, though, did they? I mean, it was Bergkamp was their top scorer that season. I mean, you mentioned that back four there.
Yeah.
Bergkamp, 16 goals. Bergkamp was top scorer. We've gone from Ronaldo, 31.
Yeah.
We talk about Man United.
So did you prefer Anelka over Bergkamp as a player?
Different.
I know.
He was coming in and beautiful touches, but we all used to be strikers. And Bergkamp was more like a attacking midfielder,
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a 10. The way he used to come and receive the ball. I used to love Anelka's runs in behind.
Yeah,
It was
it's
just like, it was cool.
That was an unbelievable back five that you just reeled off there.
Yeah.
Seaman and Adams and Dixon and
Keel.
Burn.
Well, we'll leave Keown out of it. Winterburn,
We'll leave Martin out.
Don't leave Martin out. Don't take it personally.
He'll come at 2 footers, won't he, Martin?
Yeah. He knows we're only kidding.
And Wenger. We've got to talk about Wenger.
Because when he was, funny enough, he was. They got him from Japan. Got him from the club that I played for in Japan, and I was there for 2 years. And I left when Wenger joined, and so we didn't cross over. Okay. But he went straight into the apartment that I vacated there. And it's funny. It's in David Dean's book that he wrote that when he was trying to get Wenger to come, they were exchanging facts, and when the facts came through. From Wenger, it had my name on the top.
No way.
Yeah, because he kept my fax paper.
You know what a fax is?
He was faxed in through.
I know, I do know what a fax just about.
Because of that, I was about the only person that had heard of him when he actually emerged. I think a lot of Arsenal fans and even probably the players were going, "Who? What?"
So what was he doing in Japan then? What?
Managing Grand Passate.
So it was obviously.
He won the league with, and honestly, we were useless Grand Passate. Would have been better if we'd had 11. No.
Yeah, but no. I'll say, what were you doing in Japan? He obviously went for a payday.
Injured.
He went for a payday.
Gary went out to play in Japan but never played. He just ended up taking all the money and said he had a bad toe.
That's what I was getting at, but he tried to deflect.
Obviously, I was at the end of my career. It was one of those things where in those days we didn't earn the money that you earned, Micah. And also it was... they wanted me to go not just to play, but to kind of support this new J League.
Okay.
The new Japanese leagues was being launched, and they wanted some big names from around the world, and they couldn't get any, so, so they called me. And it was basically Zico, Lipbarski, and myself with a kind of.
You like it? Good experience.
It was a fabulous experience. I was a little bit apprehensive, but it was involved in something different. It was a time in my career. I was 32. My legs had kind of on the wane,
You speak Japanese?
I did a lot of lessons when I was there. I've forgotten most of it, but I could cook. I could survive. It was so much more difficult than Spanish. I found that I picked that up quite quick, but I could, ring up and book a table. I could tell a taxi where to go. I could be polite. I could swap a few words.
If you don't mind me asking, what sort of wages you don't have to tell me what you was on, what sort of wages would you have been getting back then when you was in Japan?
Well, before I went there, I think I was probably one of the best paid players in world football, and I would have earned...
Really?
I would have earned in a year what the best paid players now earn in a week. Wow. And I'm not complaining, and I've done well since. I think I was on 300 to 350 grand a year.
Yeah, but back then...
it felt like enormous money back then. It was enormous money, but then I went to Japan, it was like it was a payday. 7-8 times that.
Really?
So it was obviously, one of the reasons, but the timing was right. And it was also something really different. And to go to a country like that was just,
What year was that?
That was 93.
Right.
93. So I had an 8-month gap between finishing and then the J League starting. My last season at Tottenham, and I got injured towards the end of that season, my toe, and actually I went out there and by the time I got there, I was crocked and didn't really play much. But the way of life, it's very safe, it's very clean, it's very polite. The food was spectacular. Everyone goes, "Oh, raw fish." That's all. But even that is, I love sashimi and sushi and stuff. But they had tempura restaurants and the incredible Wagyu beef restaurant. And it was a really, really beautiful golf courses. I really loved it. Stunning golf courses there.
That would have been enough.
Yeah, that had done it for you. So it was perfect. I just wish I got a bit embarrassed because I had such a bad injury. It finished me. Which was a shame, but apart from that, it was all-round a good experience. Where the hell did we get that? How did we get
I know, yeah.
Oh, because of
Wenger.
And the tax machine. And the fax machine. I said the tax machine. Yes, I pay my tax. Like that. That's good, isn't it? So, right, Chelsea 2005. I'm surprised that's not in your top 5, Alan. That was a fantastic side. Mourinho came in, of course. And,
Mourinho came in,
what
Drogba,
an impact he made. Robin, yeah. Carvalho.
Frank Lampard obviously was there. They only lost 1 game that season.
So why 8th?
Just because of the others are, innit? The different stories. I mean, Mourinho then. Do you think different Mourinho now to the Mourinho then. He was a breath of fresh air, wasn't he?
He was kind of witty
arrogant,
and
funny.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got elements of what you just said.
Yeah.
I suppose
we hadn't seen. He was different, wasn't he, when he came in? And as I said, he just came in and sort of blew everyone away with his personality. And I think most people sort of took to him. And he could be arrogant because he was funny on the back of it, and that team could back that arrogance up, and that team could play without a doubt, and they could mix it a bit as well because they had some tough guys in there, didn't they?
They were tough to play against. They were all strong, fast, good technique. It's just one of them places you didn't want to go.
Different Mourinho in 2005.
Oh yeah, it was a totally different one. I mean, he won with his record, and it's phenomenal. His record is just outstanding. But of course, people will look at that then and look at what he has and is now, and that's very different. But the one that came in 2005.
How much do you think of? It's always hard to work out in percentages, etc. But how much do you think the credit for the success of these teams is down to the management, and how much to the players? Because you can't do it without the players. That's surely.
Yeah, but if Mancini wouldn't have come to Man City, that season anyway. You always go for a stage. Ultimately, if you buy the best players, at some stage you're going to win. But when you're going up against great managers, the tactics and... I asked this question for a reason, because Manchester United's manager of Ferguson was there forever. Arsene Wenger was there for a long period of time as well at Arsenal, both hugely successful. Yet Chelsea changed their managers frequently, and still have a lot of success and a lot of titles.
Yeah, I mean, you're a manager. You're only as good as your players you've got, aren't you? As a manager, it would be fascinating to see whether one of Pep or Jurgen or Jose could go into a bottom 6 and see what they would do with a bottom 6 team and see how they got on.
Yeah, it's always a funny one because people say they'd never do it with the bottom 6 team, and they say the same thing about. But Lewis Hamilton's he's got the best car, but the truth is the best players or the best managers end up at the best clubs, don't they?
Yeah, but the managers have still got to go and motivate those multi-millionaires, and
that's a different skill.
It's a different skill set totally. But that would be interesting to see how they would get on in doing that.
It would be interesting, but we'll never see it.
Yeah, but Mourinho won it with Porto, didn't he? Won the Champions League with Porto, and if you look at that squad, there wasn't world beaters. They might have come after that, some of the players, but
the team he won it with at Inter weren't unbelievable.
No, exactly. Yeah. So he has got something.
Oh, there's no question about that.
No, he's still one of
He's had so much success and won so many trophies, and he was very much the special one. But I suppose the game evolves. Has he evolved with it?
I think he still needs some more time to give a true answer.
You think he'll get more time?
I probably won't get more time, but he finished second with Man United. He said it was his greatest achievement.
So I'm not sure that's true. I don't necessarily agree with him on that one. Okay, right. Manchester City 2018. You've both got those. You've got 8, Micah. Alan
6.
At 6.
Yeah.
So that was
And the
they're all good
standard, the
sides,
standard of football that season was ridiculous. It was relentless, wasn't it? Week after week, performance after performance. I mean,
they were so good. That's why I think I'd have had personally those in the top 5 because.
No, I get that, but it's sort of from a personal. If Blackburn may not have been in my top 5 if I personally hadn't been in that team.
Been
So it's from my perspective, and when you look at the others, but some of the football played that season. I mean, it's only because of the high standard of.
Yeah, exactly that. The high standards, and they were favourites to win the league. Yeah. So it shouldn't go against them. You know, if you get 100 points.
Points totals count though?
What?
Points total. Get 100 points. I mean, that in itself is, you know, even the Invincibles didn't get 100 points.
Yeah, but I'd rather be unbeaten all season than get 100 points. That is a bit more special if you're talking about one season. I know, they're just set to higher standards, Man City. Maybe a neutral looking in was saying, well, they've got the most points, they should be further up. I just believe there's better stories for one season in my 1 to 5.
Fair enough. Liverpool 2020. I mean, what a season they had.
To come back.
Both got them at 7th.
Yeah, to come back after not winning it and then do what they did was just very special, and for so long, hadn't it? Pressure.
30 years, was it?
Yeah.
30 years not winning the league.
The pressure was for such a huge football club. The pressure grows after every year.
If someone said in 1990 that Liverpool wouldn't win a title for 30 years, you'd have gone, yeah, right. Yeah. You would never have believed it, but it was obviously as well. They had to wait so long, and then when they won it, there were no fans there.
That was the difficult part for.
But at the same time, it'll always be the title everyone looks back on and goes, "Remember that year?" Well, this year will be the same, I suppose, in many ways as well. No fans, as strange times.
It was strange.
But it almost made it all the more remarkable. I suppose it was only the last bit of the season that was like that. But
I was actually happy for Liverpool. Ex-teammate James Milner, Mo Salah as well.
what's Milner like? He seems a really good
I was at Newcastle.
So Milner, my God.
He plays on that boring James Milner image. He does it brilliantly.
He doesn't drink at all, don't drink a drop. But he's one of the funniest people you'll ever meet. He just, how you see him is completely different. He's just that straight.
Dry.
Yeah, he's got dry banter. I absolutely love him.
What a pro, though, eh?
Hey?
What a professional.
Oh, he's a great, he'd be first in, last out.
I was at Newcastle with him as well when he was many years ago.
But he's done better than I thought he would do, because I played against him when he was at Newcastle and he played left wing.
Yeah.
And I just ate him for lunch. I just move. He was quite slim. He was always energetic. I was like, move out the way, and then
One of your smaller lunches there.
and then he come back and you see him. He had a couple of his best seasons at Aston Villa, and then he got his move. He came to City, and he didn't get as much respect as he should have at City. He was seen as more utility man. But
sometimes with utility players, it affects their overall view because it's a really difficult thing playing in multiple positions, but they're worth their weight in gold to a manager, aren't they? You've seen Klopp
every squad needs one or two of them,
them,
doesn't it? Without a doubt. Because at some stage of the season, you're going to need them to do something different.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't get the recognition you deserve because of that, because you're not seen as a specialist in a particular area. I suppose you've moved around a bit. That might have.
To be fair, with the centre back and right back, it did. But Milner, he was better technically than people give him. He could get the ball on his left foot or get on the follow right. Yeah, great cross of the ball. Great mentality, great attitude. He's a Yorkshire lad as well, so always helps.
Does it?
He's great lads. It was Yorkshire, aren't we? Yorkshire.
Aye.
And he's I was glad to see him win it. To be honest.
I know it's kind of been a bit odd this season with Liverpool, but what a job he did, Klopp, over those.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you say that hasn't been said about him to have achieved what they've done, to have won what they've won, Premier League and Champions League, and it's just unbelievable.
I love him. I love Klopp. I think
enthusiasm,
he's great.
drive, he obviously has a great relationship with his players. He trusts them, he backs them. They do the same to him, which I think you have to do to be a successful football club. And they've just got a great chemistry, haven't they? I mean, I know they've struggled this season, and you can see the hurt.
He's not a great loser, is he?
No, well, that's fine. I don't mind that.
Show me a great loser, and I'll show you a loser.
I mean, I never mind any manager coming and having the hump after the game.
It must be really hard, though. That was sort of part of the management thing. Doing the pre-match interview, which I think are a complete waste of time, because what they're going to say, they're never going to give anything away about how they're going to play. All they ever end up doing is talking about the player they've left out, whoever that may be. Must drive them absolutely bonkers. And then at the game, in the height of the emotion of maybe just having lost, they have to put on a brave face. Must be probably the toughest part of the job, possibly.
Yeah, that interview before the game is nonsense, isn't it, really? I mean, you've got to do an interview on a Friday, you've got an interview an hour and a half before the game, and then an interview after the game. Yeah. I mean, they must drive them around the bend at times.
We'll be out of job at this rate if we've got no interviews. No.
We'll have to do more talk before the game. We'll actually have
more research. We might actually have to do some research.
Don't you do your research, mate? Of course you do. Top fives. Alan.
Top five. Man City, 2012.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Go on, carry on.
Arsenal, 2004. Third is Man United, 99. And believe it or not, I've gone for Blackburn, 95, number 2.
You've not picked yourself winner. That's the first.
And Leicester, I've gone for Leicester. The story of Leicester,
good lad.
number 1.
Right, okay, 95. Yeah, okay, Leicester 2016. Go on.
Okay, I had a little change, didn't I? I had Blackburn 5th, but I'm going to put Chelsea 5th now.
Chelsea 2000.
Yeah, and Blackburn are going to go 4th. In 3, Manchester City 2012. 2, Invincibles. And number 1, Leicester.
You've both gone Leicester.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, correct decision.
I mean,
Go on.
I was going to say about that when 2012, Man City, I mean, it's just unbelievable, the story, isn't it? And the commentary at the end.
We're all!
Yeah.
They never do it.
For a game to be decided basically with the last kick.
This whole season.
Over a whole season to go to the go to the last game is one thing. To go to the last kick of the game, basically. Yeah.
I suppose what we've ended up doing here, in a way, looking at the order here, and clearly Leicester are not the best team. We've ended up really going. It's a mixture of things, isn't it? That you've decided on the best.
Leicester were 5,000 to 1.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So therefore, it's more the story probably.
Of course.
None of us are going to pretend that Leicester City team is the best team that's ever played in Premier League history. But it's just to explain that because people, people take.
Well, it's the story, though, isn't it? The story of where they were. We spoke about it on a previous one about the season before, where they escaped relegation. Yeah. To go from that to where they went to win the league, I mean, it just.
Yeah. We'll come to that though, because obviously they're the winners. So, Alan, you've got Manchester United's treble-winning team of 1999 in 3rd. Micah had them quite low at 6th.
I wonder why that is.
No reason, just better stories from 1 to 5.
Probably
we can't
Alan
argue
disagrees.
With that. I mean, we played against them in the FA Cup final on their way to winning the treble. They won the league and then they bashed us in the cup final. What a team they had. I mean, even when you look at the Champions League team, they had the players that they didn't have in that team and still go on and to win it.
To do something like that, you've got to be an absolutely brilliant side.
Yeah.
You need a bit of luck as well, or things to go. There are certain things in seasons that happen when you do something like that. Imagine the semi-final, for instance, one of the Giggs goals, wasn't it? And
you also need a number of forwards that you can rely on, and the forwards that they had. I mean, the 4 of them, wasn't it? Cole, York, Sheringham, Solskjaer.
Who was the best out of all them 4? Strikers, in your opinion, on?
Well, I played with Teddy with England, and Teddy was brilliant for me
Teddy
and
was,
for the team.
He was different to the others. The others were goal scorers, weren't they? Dwight was a playmaker as well.
But if you could pick one, or not even to partner with, just out of who's got the most out of them?
Say the best goal. I think
the
Cole.
goal scorer was
Coley.
Yeah, in terms of sheer goals. Yeah.
Sheringham was a wonderful footballer, though. I mean, he was intelligent and he'd drop in. He wasn't.
Dwight was top scorer that year, wasn't he, in the league?
Okay.
But they were all. I mean,
You fancied that though as a player, being one of four.
Just about to say, when he's chopping and changing, you've got to have someone who's going to be quite content to sit on the bench and play his part from there. And
that ain't us.
No, I wouldn't have liked that. I wouldn't have liked to have been a substitute. In fact, I wouldn't have put up with it. I'd have
gone to Newcastle,
banging on the door to be playing every single week. It's just the way I was brought up. But the team spirit that they had, or they must have had, was to get through that. What they did was staggering.
So when United came in for you, what year would that have been?
96.
So who would have been up front for Man United then?
Cantona.
Okay. So if you thought you would have went there, would you obviously be
Shearer, that's the front.
That would have been nice, wouldn't it? Ooh. That would have been
Well,
nice.
they didn't exactly struggle, did they?
No.
By not signing me. As I'm constantly reminded.
3 years later, they won the treble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Sir Alex.
Oh, he's the greatest manager. He might not be the greatest tactician, as people say, but to get the best out of his players.
To build probably 3 different teams as well, and to be equally successful in all of them is
Exactly that. As soon as Fergie's gone, Man United are not the same. And a lot of people say, oh, he's seen it coming. He did the best job he could do. Took him a little bit of time to get going, as we say, in that first FA Cup, propelled them on to do what they needed to do. But I think he's the greatest ever Premier League manager. A lot of people might think differently. I love Wenger because of Arsenal, but 13 titles, 5 FA Cups?
I can't see another manager having the longevity of Ferguson and Wenger, can you? So this day and age, the patience.
Well, if Pep wanted to do that, I reckon he could be there, but he wouldn't be. He won't be there. Yeah, so I agree with you.
Klopp the same, probably. You can't see him. I mean, can you stay in there?
No. I don't think anyone will do that length of time again.
No, I agree with that.
Probably changed.
They were a brilliant team.
Arsenal, 2004, the Invincibles.
Oh,
You've got them second, Micah.
Yeah.
And Alan in fourth. I mean, what an achievement that is to have gone a whole season.
I know we've asked it many times over the years since. Will they do it? Will they do it? I mean, that just tells you how special that was. I mean, they had a good team, but to go through the season unbeaten was remarkable, and rightly so. People will talk about it for a long, long time.
How mentally strong they was as well. You know, sometimes when you go in and it just wasn't our day, but they didn't have that. That is incredible. The team. I wouldn't say it was one of the best teams ever. If you look at the actual players, they had great players, but I think there was better teams or better players in the team. I think that'd be fair. But the unit that they had was great to see. And if you go and
think it'll ever be done again? They've come close, haven't they? A couple of teams that threatened, like City and. It's so difficult, isn't it?
It's a difficult one. It's impossible to answer, isn't it? Will it be done? I mean, so special what they achieved.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Look at the teams that we've had since, and we've just spoken about some of them, how brilliant they have been. So, for them not to do it tells you how great that Arsenal team were. You might not agree they're a great team, but what they had in terms of a team spirit.
I don't think it'll be any time soon because the teams are getting better. Look at Leicester throwing themselves in the mix now. Spurs are getting better.
Are they?
Man U. Well, the winning point. Well, you'd think, yeah. And I think back then it was just top 4, wasn't it? Or we was led to believe it was top 4, and now you'd say it's a top 6. So I think it's a little bit harder now.
Manchester City 2012. We've just discussed that. We've just done that one. Sorry.
Yeah, they're going in at my number 3, which we've discussed. A lot of people, I think, have gone higher, but yeah.
I'm very surprised you didn't put that in.
No, because
first, actually, Mike, because that's maybe because you didn't play in the last game.
No, nothing to do with that. I think it was just the story, Invincible, and then 5,000 to 1 with Leicester. I think if we're going off story, and story was great, you know, it probably never happened in Man City. I just think the odds of Leicester winning it would be greater.
They're mad.
Yeah.
What were the odds? You have a little bet occasionally. I know you're not a big gambler, but what were the odds on Blackburn when they went? Do you know?
No, they're doing a lot lower than that because
you
perhaps
bought decent players and.
Well, the season before, we were right in the mix, and perhaps should have done better in challenging for it. So they wouldn't. I mean, I think that they're slightly different because of. People saw Blackburn coming. They knew what their intentions were. They had Jack Walker, and we were signing good players. We had a great manager who had been successful with Liverpool and Kenny. So it was different. The difference, no one saw Leicester coming, did they? I mean, that's the difference. I mean, just
not even.
I don't think even Leicester didn't see themselves. It was just. Everyone just kept saying it can't happen. It can't happen with Leicester. But that was the difference where we at Blackburn, we were there the season before, so it was our intention.
What was it like going into that last game? What was it like?
Nerve-wracking.
It was nerve-wracking, man.
Nervous as hell, because Fergie was putting the pressure on us.
Was he? What was he up to?
He was up to his tricks, seeing what he had to do in the press, and as much as you try and blank it all out, all players look at the news, all players look at the newspapers, so you just couldn't blank it out. And we had such a lead that they were chipping away at it every single week. So to get over the line was just a massive relief.
Yeah, didn't want to do a Foynaven, the old.
The what? Sorry,
Foynaven, wasn't it? The horse fell in the national, was it?
No,
wasn't it?
Devon Lock.
Devon Lock. Yeah,
Devon Lock. Yeah.
I'm used to racing.
Was it Devon Lock? Yeah.
I'd never done a race.
You just worried you were going to do a Devon Lock?
Yeah, we were petrified. Yeah. Kenny was trying to tell us to stay calm, but we couldn't stay calm. We were under huge pressure. Yeah. We got there in the end.
Stay calm. Stay calm.
I know, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But I mean, we went 1-0 up at Anfield as well, which is a bizarre thing.
Who scored, Al?
I don't know. That was me. And then we just crumbled after that. Yeah. So it was strange.
Were you aware of what was going on?
Yeah.
And it's West Ham, wasn't it?
West Ham, Man United, West Ham. We were aware because of the fans. The fans were basically telling us and their reaction.
And the weird thing was that it must have been very odd in an experience because I suppose the Liverpool fans.
Yeah, Liverpool fans were actually.
They would be, wouldn't
they were with us, but they were with their own team. Yeah. But they were desperate for
West Ham it was perfect for them.
To win
so
the
it
league,
made the celebration at the end probably better, didn't it?
It was because all the Liverpool fans stayed to cheer us on because of King Kenny. Man United hadn't done their job at Upton Park, so all in all, it was a win-win for them. Man United didn't win the title; their team won the game, and Blackburn went on to win it. So it was the end of a long, hard season. Yeah, I think so. That and being named England captain. I mean, to be named England captain, as you know, don't think it can get any bigger or any better than that. So yeah.
Did you change anything when you become England captain? You know, nothing at all.
No,
it stayed the same. Because when I came Villa captain, I don't know, didn't do my usual routine sort of thing. Because I feel like you've got to start being all mature and all that. Looking what chance did we have?
Who on earth made you captain? Lunatic made you captain.
Who was this? Who made you captain?
Tim Shearer.
I love Tim. Tim was our captain at Blackburn when we won the league. You think he'd known better?
You think he'd known better, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you're going around, you're doing all the tickets and all that, and you're all right, you're speaking to players, but I don't want to speak to you. You sort yourself out.
Probably not Tim's best choice.
I know, yeah. But me or Gagby Agbonlaho? We were the two seniors. He's going to pick me, isn't he?
That was hilarious. Tim Shearer, he was captain. What was he? What was he like? Because he comes across as quite a character.
Great in the dressing room, great character, always telling stories.
Could you see him as a manager?
Yeah, I could actually, because of the way he was with players, the way he spoke to players, he understood the game.
He doesn't understand captaincy, though.
And he was, absolutely, it's very different. He was, as you can imagine, he always had an opinion. But all our dressing room loved him because he was just a great lad. Yeah.
It was a great. He's chocolate though, isn't he? Loves himself. Like he'd be doing that, right, make a sign, just get in the curtain. I loved him. Yeah. He was just himself, personality. Yeah. And to be honest, I actually played my best football under him.
Did you?
Not my best at Villa. He was. Everyone was saying he should be back in England squad and all that. So the time together was really good.
I wonder if we asked Tim Sherwood now whether he would name Micah Richards his captain again.
I saw an interview the other day and they said, any regrets? And he went, he didn't, not at all. Leicester City, 2016. It still makes me, how
does it make you feel? Tell us.
Even to this day, I still get emotional. When the night they won it, obviously the whole doing the pants thing was just, when I did that tweet, and I think it was early December, they were going quite high, and I just did it as a laugh because I knew that 100%
wasn't going to happen.
Zero chance that it would ever happen. And then obviously it crept closer and closer, it was a strange thing to go through because it was so joyous yet so agonising, and it was. I think when they beat City away, remember that lunchtime game, 3-1, I started to think, Christ, this actually might be possible. This actually might. I was still pretty convinced they'd just fall away. And then it went on, and then all the games then got shifted to a Sunday, which was perfect because I wasn't working, so I could just sit at home. My boys had come, they're all Leicester fans. 3 out of the 4. George is a United fan, but he's always contrary. So even he started cheering them. And we used to sit in together, and every game seemed to be like 1-0 and hanging on, winning, 1-0, 1-0. It was beautiful, but it was murder. It was going through and then the closer it got to winning it, the more worrying it became because you start to think, Christ, they've got this lead now. If they blow it now, it'd be like the end of the world. I mean, it's ridiculous because it's football, but as we know, that's how it gets. And then we were all in the house when Tottenham played at Chelsea, didn't they? And Tottenham had to win. And then Harry Kane scored. We thought, oh, Christ, it's still not going to happen, is it? We're going to blow it. And you know how you feel as a football fan, it's always the same. And then Hazard got it and he bent it in that top corner. I'm a grown man. I burst into tears.
Did you really?
I genuinely burst into tears. I was gone. I was absolutely gone. And
was that
we were
because
all
of
hugging
Leicester
the
winning,
lads.
or you realised you're going to have to sit on Match of the Day with your tits out? He ended the season, he went away with tits, and he came back after working in the gym all summer. He come back in, he was ripped.
I had a boot job.
He'd been in the gym all summer.
That's it, right, I was. Oh, God.
You look good, though. You look good.
Oh, no, man.
You don't see him, he's going blue, he's breathing in that much.
I was going red. That was embarrassment. That was the most surreal thing I've ever done. It was so weird just doing that. And I did a stand-up thing, but it was just...
When did you make the bet that if they win the league, you'd do it?
My personal guy was trained me. I've trained me for 20 years, so it wasn't a new thing. He said to me, just on the day, he said, don't eat or drink anything.
That's what he said.
And he said, just before you do it, he said, just do some press-ups and stuff. He'll give you a little pump. So anyway, I kind of botched on the eating thing. I got hungry. You know what it's like in the Match of the Day office? You eat chocolate and crisps all day. And I still did that. And then with the show, and I thought, right, I'll do it. And then I'm in the studio floor. I thought, there's a cameraman and everyone.
He's going live.
Sit down there and do press-ups on that.
That would be brilliant.
And then I'm doing the opening thingy, and all I'm conscious of is him and Righty just...
Every hour during the day he was getting up doing 10 press-ups.
And then doing the analysis on the Leicester... I only did the Leicester game with the analysis. We put them on first. It was the first match of the next season. And sitting there and I just couldn't take it. It's just so surreal. It was awful.
That's brilliant.
But it was part of the fun. But Leicester winning was I mean, it couldn't happen.
I mean,
The team.
everyone, at some stage during that season, I think everyone could have and would have said, it's not going to, I mean, it can't continue. Their form, it has to, when's it going to stop?
Yeah.
And it never did. No. They just got on a
And
snowball
Ranieri,
effect,
he
it?
handled it.
Yeah, he did.
And he had it
unbelievable.
And it was, see, the most beautiful thing about it is that it wasn't just Leicester fans that wanted it to happen. It was everywhere. It was right around the world was paying attention to a place that the rest of the world has never been able to spell.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful, and the whole country loved your own football club. It was mad, which never happens.
Yeah.
Never happens.
It took advantage of everyone sort of being in a change, hadn't they?
There were lots of
football clubs.
And contributing factors. I mean, they were all in transitional phases, weren't they? All the big teams weren't in their best moment.
But the team that you had...
No real injuries, hardly any injuries, because it was a really small squad. But, but Kante, Mahrez, Vardy with it.
Yeah, but your back four wasn't that good.
Well,
or by names, but they did well.
If you go Simpson, Wes Morgan, Robert Huth and Christian Fuchs as a back four, and you said they won the Premier League, I think Robert Huth was asked, wasn't he? He said, how did that back four win the Premier League? And he just went, N'Golo Kante.
That was when you got him in front of you.
Yeah, and he was unbelievable.
Danny Simpson was good that season, though, wasn't
They were all brilliant that season. They all played out their skin.
Yeah.
It was magical. It really was, yeah. So Leicester win it.
Leicester
Leicester.
Best champions ever.
Finally, we agree on something.
We all agree. And, well, what a season it's been on Match of the Day Top 10.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
You've been brilliant.
You've been brilliant. Actually, welcome newcomer, Micah.
Oh, thank you.
A very impressive debut season. Plenty of clean sheets. And only a couple of dressing room brawls. And well done, Alan, for providing high-quality performances, reliability and target finishing week after week, may I say. We've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you two have too, and I hope you have watching or listening.
Available now on BBC Sounds.
Hi, I'm Eddie Hearn, and I'm back for a third series of No Passion, No Point. In the latest episode, I'm speaking with former Manchester United and England centre-back Rio Ferdinand.
I got a phone call before, just as I was going to Leeds, and I could have gone Chelsea, and I just said to the geezers, there's just no point in even trying to pitch the idea to me. I need to leave London. I got all my mates, I go out every weekend, and I didn't have a handbrake.
And if you would have stayed in London, if you would have gone to Chelsea, who knows?
I'd have been at Orient in 2 years. Serious. With your dad.
No Passion, No Point. Listen whenever you like on BBC Sounds.